Recently, I decided I wanted to rewatch one of my favourite movies, The Matrix. I've been sitting with one of the most profound scenes, with the boy holding the spoon, looking at Neo with a quiet certainty. He says, "Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, try to realise the truth." Neo asks, "What truth?" And the boy answers, "There is no spoon. Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself." This scene lives in my energy rent-free, not just in the moment, but during this art in residency. Because there's something about truth that pierces through the veil, intellect. When I paint, I realise the canvas, the brush, the colours, none of it holds the weight I thought it did. The essence of creation is not in the object in front of me, but in the way I meet it, the way I allow myself to move, to see, to let go. What bends is me. What opens is me. In the residency, painting becomes a meditation on this truth. In life, the more I try to control, the heavier everything feels. But when I soften, when I allow presence to take over, something shifts. The process reveals itself as fluid, alive, unbounded by my expectations. The canvas becomes less of a surface to entertain logic and more of a mirror, showing me where I detach and where I am willing to bend, expand, dissolve into something infinite. Belief lives inside this too. Neo couldn't bend the spoon until he first believed it was possible. Belief acts as a catalyst, as a doorway. At first it's fragile, like holding broken glass in your hands, that a slip could cut you. But with time, belief matures. It crystallizes into knowing, and once you know, reality begins to recognize and reorganize itself around that knowing. I see this in myself here. In the beginning, I believed I could create something for myself that I didn't have to seek externally. I believed I could find rhythm in the residency, that the process would hold me. Over time, that belief moved deeper into my body. It became something quieter, something more steady. I no longer needed to remind myself. I live inside it. It is already known. And belief, at its essence, is about stepping out of the mind. The mind is where all constraints, conditions, expectations, and judgments live. The rules of what is possible, what is fixed, what is immovable. To believe is to step beyond the architecture of limitation and into the infinite vortex we've buried inside of us all. When the programs of limitation collapse, the structure of reality begins to loosen. The spoon isn't real. It was never real. What we think of as solid, scientific, unshakable, unbendable facts are only projections of thought, the framework of perception. Collapsing reality moves deeper than seeing that the spoon isn't real. It is the collapse of consciousness as we've been conditioned to perceive it. This sense that reality is out there, separate from us, solid and fixed. When I say collapse, I mean dissolving the illusion of distance. Everything outside of me is consciousness. Every object, every person, every thought, every sound is bound to me by an invisible thread, a grid of intelligence that moves through all things. I think about it like this. As I sit here speaking to you, there is a thread connecting us. You hear me through this video, through this software, through this program called YouTube, through the flow of signals and frequencies. But beyond the technology, there is something deeper. Because if I wasn't here to post, you wouldn't have the option to click and enter this moment. And if you weren't here, I wouldn't exist in this moment of connection either. To collapse time, space, and matter is to recognize there is no separation. There is no other. I am the watcher and the person being watched. I am the projector, the movie, and the screen. There is only consciousness looping back into itself, speaking and expressing itself through different forms. This is the truth of collapsing reality, realizing that I don't just interact with the spoon, I am the spoon. The same intelligence that animates me, animates it and all things in reality. The same source that births galaxies, births this object in my mind and births me into being. The boundary is imagined. The line between subject and object, self and world is nothing more than vibration holding shape. And when you see this, the collapse begins. It's not about the spoon disappearing, it's about becoming it, recognizing that what I project, what I believe, what I know within myself translates directly into how the spoon behaves. How reality arranges itself. The object bends because I am bending. The world shifts because I have shifted. This carries through everything in my residency. The fact that I am here, painting, speaking, creating. This exists because consciousness chose me as the vessel to bring it forward. The thoughts, the download, the impulse arrived and I stepped into it, embodied it, gave it weight in the physical. Without me, there would be no residency. There would be no channel to transmit what needs to be expressed. In another reality, a thought I didn't act on would be downloaded by another channel who would birth that idea into existence. Without the thought, without the inspired action, there would also be no me in this way. And technically, there is no me because I am consciousness experiencing itself through a hologram. When I choose to interact with consciousness by being consciousness outside of limitation, the energy is reciprocal. We are creating each other because we are each other. This is why I love the metaphor of architect in the Matrix. We are all architects of consciousness, not because we invent it from nothing, but because we are constantly shaping the grid, molding vibration into form. Our nervous system, our senses, our heart, all of it translates frequency into experience. Our belief becomes structure. Our knowing becomes reality. So the phrase, the more I know, the less I know, collapses into itself as one, the I am. When Neo sees that there is no spoon, what he's really seeing is that he is the spoon, that the same intelligence moving through the metal is moving through him. And once he stops treating the spoon as separate, once he collapses the false distance, the spoon obeys his belief, his knowing. It bends because it was never rigid to begin with. It was only vibrating in a pattern that reflected his old way of seeing. And that's what this work feels like. Every brushstroke, every reflection is a reminder that the world outside of me is not external. It is me mirrored back. To collapse reality is to dissolve the illusion of otherness. To see everything, canvas, color, body, breath, as consciousness folding in on itself, playing as form.